Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Yarns with Andy. Today, I've got Caleb Mill. He's a pretty interesting character from the civil space in New Zealand. He's a civil contractor, runs a civil contracting company, but from a very environmental science background. Two interesting mixes, and he's here to share his founder story, his past challenges that we've got in the industry, and a lot more. Let's get into it. Welcome, Caleb.
Thanks, Andy. Good to be here.
Yeah, mate. Thank you so much for making the time for being here. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, who you are, what you do.
Yeah, I'm Caleb.
Such a typical Kiwi thing to do.
Yeah.
Right? Hey, I'm
this
just
is my
Caleb,
name.
dude. I'm Caleb. That's it.
Oh yeah, this is what I do. Yeah, I suppose I've got a bit of environmental science background, like you said, but that really comes from my upbringing, I suppose. So we're in the outdoors a lot.
You're a Rotorua boy, eh?
Rotorua boy.
Yep.
Not born and bred, actually. No,
Yeah.
Rotorua boy in education, and sort of I grew up there, but I was born in Alaska, so in Kenai Peninsula. That's where the company name comes from.
Kenai, yeah.
So a bit of a homage to back in the Northern Hemisphere.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so
Nice.
parents came back here when I was really young, all family, and that's from Rotorua, so
Nice.
that's a bit of us. So grew up in near Boys High, so Rotorua Boys High boy.
Yeah.
We had a small family business, family banquets all around the table.
Oh,
everyone
nice.
everyone celebrated.
family?
Like big extended family and that. So it was always good. So that passion, I suppose, for the environment came from the school holidays out in forestry blocks, playing in rivers, playing in the lakes, and the sea and that. So grew that passion early, and really, I suppose, that drove. I never had a pathway set for me.
Yeah, right.
But learnt along the way, and some of those values learnt early has driven me to where I am today. So,
yeah, right. So that kind of led you into an environmental science kind of background, and that's where you studied?
Yep. Yeah.
And that naturally led you to working for Watercare?
Yeah, not quite. Yeah, so the environmental science, so I was actually back down Rotorua doing nitrogen sort of budgeting and that for Bay of Plenty Regional Council, and sort of built some really good relationships down there, and had a bit of a family tragedy, and father passed away, and I ended up taking on the family business for about 3 years. So in forestry harvest, so big production environment, thrown in the deep end at a young age. So that was a lot of learning in that environment for me, and for various reasons that went sideways. Was a bit of a loss of what to do, so came back up to Auckland, and at the time I was trying to get funding for a master's, and that came through an opportunity with Bay of Plenty Regional Council at the time. Extended that out. What did we do then? So carried on with the business, and then jumped over to Watercare as like a tier 3 contractor under Fulton Hogan. So I was actually in the delivery side of phase 1 of Pukatutu, and then an opportunity came up when the operation started. So that was where I really learnt what Watercare was and what we're trying to build, and the whole vision around Pukatutu of this.
Tell us the vision about Pukatutu. This is quite interesting. What happened?
It's basically a big old quarry.
Yep.
It was left as a bit of a
So
scar.
Pukatutu is a little island right next to the airport, isn't it?
Yeah, right next to the airport. So we're out by the Mangere wastewater treatment plant, or resource recovery plant, I think it's called now. It's located very handy. It's just got a causeway out to it. It was quarried for 50 odd years. It was an ideal spot to place biosolids and reform the landform and give it back as a crown jewel to Auckland.
Yeah,
so,
right. Yeah.
Big community project, long-term vision. Really cool project to be part of,
Yeah.
Didn't matter what you were doing out there, was just, cool spot.
Cool spot, yeah. And you guys turned that entire landfill into public usable space now, haven't you?
Yeah, so I understand the project's still going in an operational phase.
Yeah.
So there's supposed to be 25 or 35 years of filling out there. And,
wow.
And then it gets to a peak, so there's rows to build in the middle of it. But we really focused on the start of that filling, and then the further development. So it was a just-in-time kind of build program. So a lot of complexity comes in with that, making sure you've got enough air void space, and ultimately you're building a landform that's a change in land use for the area, but you're trying to look after the environment around that whole Tamaki Makaurau coast out in the Manukau Harbour. So whatever you're building, quality is absolutely key first. Quality, 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 safety, safety, safety. We're not going to be going back down to fix a hole in a liner. So
Yeah, because once you filled it, you filled it.
Yeah, once you have a leak, that's going to show up, and that's going to be a burden for all of us that want to go swim or fish in that harbour for years to come, right? So
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, having the environment as a long-term vision that we buy into, there's a lot of benefits to that. It provides a lot of clarity to team building, what we're all here for, why we're doing what we're doing. So it taught me a lot about team leadership, trying to get the whole boat to go in the same direction. There's some real cool learnings out of that.
Yeah, right. And what, you guys moved about 3.3 million cubic meters of dirt.
It was something like that. It was more than just dirt out there, I suppose. So I go back to the liner and placing biosolids. So, like I said, that quality piece of checking everything underneath to make sure it's right, and that just-in-time kind of program really made us lean into how do we have that void space in front of us, get everyone on board to know what we're aiming for, why we're aiming for it, resource up, resource down, get in front of the design early, make sure the design works so we can build it when we actually go to deliver. It's a really important one. So having that ownership right the way through, and probably the biggest lesson out of the team environment there was we don't just expect you to stop work or anything, but actually speak up when you see something wrong.
Oh, yeah.
So if you sort of try form that culture of we want to know where it's going wrong early,
When things are falling off, and
we can actually fix it together. You're probably going to get in more trouble from us or piss us off more if you know something and we hear about it a week later.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
How'd you kind of embed that culture into the workforce?
I think that's that long-term vision. So, we're creating a public asset. That public asset's for all of us. It's going to be the largest regional park in Auckland's built environment, if you like. It's bigger than Cornwall Park. So once it's handed over as a land use piece, it's for all of us. Letting everyone know that if there is problems with this liner, there's leakages, stuff like that, we're all going to be living with that.
Yes.
No one wants to live with biosolids leaking out the bottom of a landfill.
Mate. It's just flown out of a landfill. Yeah, no.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Okay. Quite interesting. When's the anticipated completion date of that? Do you know?
I'd have to. That's racking my memories a bit, but I think it was 2035 was a new consent. But I understand they've got 10 years left, and they're looking at other options now. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see where technology's got to, and how they do it differently, and how they can fast track consents to, a landfill consent or a rehabilitation consent like that it's a long process at the moment. That takes 10 years to get. There's a lot of consultation.
10 years to get that consent?
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, so people that were involved in that, I've met them previously. I'm good friends and stuff with them now. Still say it's one of the hardest consents I've ever got. So there's a lot to be said about what we can do to improve that,
Yeah, right. From a consent processing perspective, how do you
100%.
fast track it? Yeah. Why does it take that long to process that consent?
Oh, good question. Why do you think it takes that long?
Man, I don't know. Consents in general in New Zealand take forever, but 10 years just seems a bit too long for a consent. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's quite excessive.
That is too long.
It is way too fucking long. Like you're saying, I mean, my son's 8 years old now, and in 10 years he'd be going to university. So you're telling me you get a consent, you apply for it now, and you get it when he goes to university? That kind of sounds like bizarre.
Yeah, well, it's bizarre, right? I suppose you're trying to start now and get absolute certainty of the outcome.
But you never will, though.
No. Yeah, 10 years, a lot changes in 10 years, right?
A lot changes in 10 years. Plus,
it's really trying to set up the frameworks to make sure that you've got the right checks and balances to trust that it's going to be delivered in the right way and set the outcome right. So we don't want shit going into the environment. Not that biosolids are shit. To be debated another day, Andy.
Play words, mate. Play words. Okay, back to Kenai, right? So you decided to quit your job at Watercare. And what kind of triggered and said, no, I'm going to now start up a civil company. I'm going to call it Kenai and we're going to go for gold. So what was that pivotal moment? What happened there?
I think start of 2020, we all had a bit of time for reflection.
Yeah. COVID happened?
Absolutely. So I think naturally it was a time of reflection for me. I started at Watercare. I honestly thought I'd be there for 6 months. I learned a lot, which is what kept me there and brought into that vision. So,
were you there for 7 years?
Well, exactly. Yeah. And then it got to the point of I was trying to, we closed the bowl in, so it was a sort of a natural place to finish and that time of reflection during COVID, and that was, what am I doing? Like, where am I going next? This is what my values are. You know, I can see a lot of opportunity in the market. Operational systems haven't really changed that much in contracting, I don't feel.
Yeah, no.
So I felt with my environmental science background, there's a real opportunity to really turn the dial on how the industry delivers rather than having it separated as tick box exercise for sustainability. Actually embed it and make it just the standard you walk past or when no one's looking, making sure they're tracking their fuel, tracking water, all those metrics, just to really turn the dial and create better infrastructure, a better place to live. It sounds like the sales pitch, that, doesn't it?
I was just about to pull you up on it. You pulled yourself up, mate. You got there first.
Yeah,
I was like, cut the sales pitch, mate. What was the trigger? Why did you start Kenai? What was the key thing? What was that thing that happened that turned around and said, oh, you know what? I could add a lot of value in this space if I ran my own company and I had a vision.
Yeah, so I've always wanted my own business, grew up in that environment. That's a key driver. Why did I start Kenai? I saw an opportunity to really do better than what's out there and create a bit of create a modern contractor.
A modern contractor.
Yeah.
I like that.
So the modern contractor is looking at data and metrics and improving every day. It's not just throw something in a tender and expect a score to fall out of that and race to the bottom with price, which is sort of where we're at the moment. But
which is where we've always been. We're at the moment. That's where we've always been.
Well, it's even worse now, I think. But anyway, that can be a topic later.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get into it.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is you want to be the modern contractor, which is really, really cool. So what makes Kenai the modern contractor?
What makes us the modern contractor? So it's really trying to create pathways for people that are interested in sustainability, want that sustainability built into their everyday life, know they're contributing to something bigger. And I suppose, what makes us the modern contractor? I think it's a database thing, being efficient, tracking those metrics.
Okay,
Yeah.
so those metrics that you're tracking?
Yeah.
So what are the key metrics that you are tracking as Kenai?
Water usage, types of water, power or energy usage, so power
on-site, off-site,
fuel use, electric digger, how much power that uses versus so carbon footprint, all that kind of stuff, waste diversion, separation, material tracking. It's a whole raft of stuff.
So to track all of this, do you have systems in place, technology in place to be able to track all of this quite efficiently, effectively?
I think like everything, we started out, we're trying to build the ship and sail at the same time. So everything started on a Excel spreadsheet.
Yep, it always does.
Yep. We slowly move away from that and we've got cloud-based app systems. So, we can track our waste through dockets and stuff as it comes to site, take a photo. That goes straight into a cloud database, so it's not lost. It's not sitting around in your foreman's ute or gateman's ute or whatever. So we're capturing the data when it comes in, and we've got that certainty around it so that you could, when I turn up and say, we've diverted 200,000 tonne of waste this year, I can back it up and there's accountability, and you can trust that that data's gone in quickly and it's there and you can rely on it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So, what decisions are you making with this data that's helping the business grow, and
Yeah.
how are you utilizing it?
Yeah. So I think for a start,
Mm.
we haven't utilised it straight away. So we've been going
You've
at it
been
for
logging
5
data,
years.
yeah.
Yeah, we've been logging data and then trying to work out what that means for us, and that sort of highlighted some low hanging fruit, as you like to say, that we should target. So waste diversion was like a real nice one for us.
So, what do you do specifically with waste diversion?
Less truckloads, more reuse, less truckloads off site, lower carbon footprint. It's that kind of stuff that really turns the dial, saves a bit of cost for the customer. It's safer. We don't have all these extra movements. Yeah, the list goes on.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
this is really
Yeah.
interesting. This is
It's
really
getting into
interesting.
like the bits and nuts and bolts of it.
Yeah,
But
yeah. You probably don't want to hand your IP over to everybody on a fucking podcast. You're like, oh, I
Fair
went to
enough.
that guy's Andy's podcast and I gave away all the IP. Yeah, you probably don't want to do that. But
No.
but it's interesting. I do want to know how you're making what you're tracking. Like we call it the ETL process internally.
ETL.
Extract, transform, load.
Yep.
You have now, yeah, but you got to log the data. So you've got the data now. So now,
Yep.
what are you going to do with that data? So you're going to extract that data, transform it in a certain way, load it, so then people can actually utilize that data to make key decisions.
Yeah, 100%. So
Yeah.
it's trying to make long-term investment decisions out of it, right?
Yeah. Okay. Long-term
So,
investment decisions.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hard to look at the moment with the up and down of the industry, but when you get shocks like we have recently with fuel, our little electric digger that's got a high capital cost up front is actually really cheap to run at the moment.
Yeah. And it'll pay itself off a lot quicker now, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
The return on investment will be a lot quicker because fuel prices have gone up.
Yeah, and it's not just that. So it's not just the investment side of it with that electric digger, or lower carbon footprint. The guys actually like working around that bit of machinery. They
Why
can
is that?
Talk to each other outside the cab. It's quiet. It's like an electric car, right?
Yeah,
It's-
right. It's no
it's
noise.
quiet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of benefits to working in built-up areas with it, which was sort of unintended consequences or results from it, if you like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Benefits.
Benefits, there you go.
benefits out of it.
Unintended benefits.
Yeah. Not consequences. mate.
Not consequences.
That's a benefit.
Yeah.
No, that's really, really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you have so what's the Kenai vision?
Kenai vision.
Mm.
We're here for the long term, so we want to build better for the places we're working and living in. But that means every decision we're making on site doesn't mean if you're making it for this week's work plan or today, make sure you're doing the right thing. So that right thing is measured back off some of those metrics, but also, is the decision you're making right for the longer term, for the reputation of the company, for the outcomes
Of the project.
the outcomes of where you want to live, So
And that's where your environmental science background comes into play, into a civil company.
absolutely
That's
longer
like-
term thinking, right? So
That's an interesting mix for me. Like,
yeah,
not many people that run civil companies have an environmental science background.
nah, but different, eh?
Bit different. That's a bit weird.
Bit weird.
I know. I was reading your bio and I was like, that's a bit weird. He's an environmental science guy, but he's into earthworks.
Yeah,
That's like an
definitely.
interesting mix.
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, so I suppose I started out and I didn't really have that fixed path or anything. I've just learnt along the way and followed my nose a bit, and
Yeah, good on you, man.
you learn people, you learn a bit about the land that you're working on at the time, or what worked well, what didn't, and it's all about that continual improvement.
Yeah.
And I suppose I learnt that at scale pretty quickly at Pukatudu, and the systems that drive better outcomes. So, yeah.
Yeah, cool. So, you've spoken a bit about earlier. I mean, on your website, I think you've gone what's ESG. What does that stand for?
Yeah, so they're...
What does that even mean? Like,
They're
I don't know what that
three
means.
pillars, right?
Yeah, okay. They're the three pillars. Yeah.
Three pillars of values. So we want good environmental outcomes. So that's the E and ESG. Good social outcomes. That's the S, and the G is governance. The environmental piece. That's highly driven by my values. I'm an environmental scientist.
Yeah.
I just want the environment to be better I want to be able to go swim at the beach like most of the Kiwis here.
Without shit floating in it.
Without shit floating in it.
Yeah.
I want like clear flowing rivers, lakes. I want to be able to get some kai out of the sea and be able to eat, like past generations and my kids and grandkids to do the same. So
yeah, cool.
That's that pillar for us, and I think I really drive that in the company, and that flows into the company. Are you looking after the environment for that future? Yeah, so that's a key value that and mission. We're out there, I suppose, not trying to save the environment, but it's trying to make sure what we're building isn't making it any worse. Sorry, what we're building isn't making it any worse, and turning the dial on the innovation side of it to drive those outcomes.
And then the governance.
Yeah, so the governance side of it, that's having a strategy in place, that's having some accountability, some reliability in your metrics. Yeah, so that's the G on the end of it. The S in the middle, that's the people side of it. So I think for me personally, I've been given a lot of opportunity in life, and opportunity should be spread everywhere, and Kenai, I want to be that vessel for opportunity for other people to learn, to train, to create a career out of, be involved in your community. We sort of have those three levels of, or for me personally anyway, is the family's up the top. Job for me is pretty close second, because it helps feed my family and keep a roof over our head. And then in the weekend, I've got that space I go play in, whether it's out in the bush running around hunting or fishing, or down at the park walking my dogs, So I want those spaces to be good.
Yeah, fair enough. And that's where the environment comes in.
100%.
So it's not just a sales fish for you. It's a bit more than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's embedded into the DNA of your company by the sound of things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The DNA of our company is definitely built around
ESG.
Those values and the ESG values here.
Yeah, fuck, really cool, really cool. That's
Thank you.
Pretty cool story. I want to kind of dive into a little bit of how you're finding the market now, where you guys are at, what's happening, your take on the market, right? Let's start with how you guys finding the market now. Is it? And I know we got booms and bust cycles, and
the market is shit. Let's just call it what it is at the moment.
Yeah, let's call it what it is. Yeah, we're finding the same. The market is shit. Like, I don't think there's any cash flow anywhere. Yeah, government's pulled the handbrakes.
100%.
There's no money exchanging hands. That's what we're seeing, at least.
Yeah, it's tough to get a job out there at the moment, in terms of, I think, the market right now is driven purely on lowest costs. Lowest cost conforming tenders. Yeah, that's driving bad behaviours. I think that could be improved through better procurement. But when you've got that driver as lowest cost conforming, you lose it's really eroding margin in everyone's company. That means you don't have the same amount to invest in people, the same amount to innovate.
Technology.
ESG sort of drops off.
ESG becomes a secondary now, because you've got to,
particularly
like
for companies,
win work to feed the family.
Yeah,
that kind of becomes priority at a point, doesn't it?
It does. I like to say we've stayed consistent. We've got those values in the company, so really that hasn't shifted for us. I don't believe, reducing your margin is a strategy long term. So that long term view again is trying to make sure that we're adding value. So adding value it's a myth that it's lowest cost. Absolute myth. And I think there's still attitudes out in the industry and in clients that short term thinking is providing value right now.
Yeah. We're saving $1 here, we're saving $1 there.
Yeah, save $1 here, but it costs 10 more later, right?
Hey, I've been reminded multiple times that's why we have the warehouse in New Zealand.
How's that?
We focus on price, not on value.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting a deal. I go to the warehouse, get a deal.
Yeah.
You'd probably
Briscoe's a 60% off.
Price to win market, mate. We're in New Zealand. We're a price to win market.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're a price to win country, I must say, not just a market.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting.
It needs to change, though. How do you think that would change for us?
I don't know. We need better international exposure.
Yeah.
What's going on in other countries, and but in saying that, we do have our own challenges as New Zealand, right? Think about it. We are so geographically diverse, spread. Like, it's not like we have central city hubs where you're going like London, right? London's made up of so
Predominantly,
many
we
boroughs.
live on the coast. Yeah.
Everybody wants a piece of land. They want the coast. They want nice rivers to live by.
Yep.
And we're so like diverse, and we have a landmass greater than that of the UK. We're a population of 5 million people, so it's going to creep in a little bit. We're a price-driven market, but what we do have the opportunity to do is innovate, create, and be better, and understand what value is, and understand the difference between price and value.
100%. Yeah, and I think trying to get that understanding in the market's really important. So, like ESG in terms of our value set, I think really delivers value for the longer term, and that longer term vision is shared by clients, and it's shared by other contractors. There's other contractors out there doing it really well as us, really well as well. I think the intent for ESG is currently it's in the civil market. I don't think it's operationalised very well. So it's still there's players out there doing it, but it's a tick box, or let's put it in the tender. Let's make a monthly or yearly report. Sustainability is outside the actual delivery team. It's not. Once it's actually on the site team and you're making decisions day to day, that's how you build the value, and it gets stronger over time. And 10 years, 20 years, 50, 100 years from now, you really see that value add. That's the vision.
But you've got to sustain and survive for the 10 years.
You do, yeah.
Well, given the market conditions, how challenging is it for you?
Well, real challenging. So those cost pressures have come in everywhere, right?
Yes.
That's made us, we've been pretty ambitious in growth. So we've scaled workforce up and down. Training, I dare say, has dropped off out of that. Training budget's reduced, so it's had big impacts it puts pressure on relationships with clients, with your subcontractors that you work with. It's that whole supply chain,
I get that better than anybody right now. Trust me, I get it. I do. So let's touch on a little bit of outlook. So where do you see this going? I mean, we go through boom bust cycles right now. We're in a bust cycle. Where do you see the boom happening? Is it going to happen?
The boom.
What's your forecast based on what you're seeing in the market?
I think forecasts are risky.
Forecasts are risky.
They need to get updated every 3 months.
100%.
And keep going, keep rolling it, right? So you're getting a true picture of what's going forward. But anything too far out, I think, is a little bit risky at the moment. So I think the main thing for us, like as an industry, we've gone on about pipeline of work, and we want clarity. We've got vision on a pipeline right now.
Do we?
I think we've got a list of projects that we know.
That's not a vision, though.
No, well,
that's a list of projects.
We've got a list of projects. We need a funded pipeline.
Yeah.
That comes and say, here's 2 election cycles, 6 years, 10 years.
But that's not going to happen.
15 years, it would be
a
great.
Labour will probably come in the next election and turn around and go, no, we're counting all of these projects, and here's a new list of projects.
Yeah, so as New Zealanders, don't we want to say, we actually want a longer election cycle, we want commitment to funding.
I fully agree with you.
Our infrastructure is failing because of this up and down election stuff. Why don't we want to have a better New Zealand, keep talent in New Zealand, have better infrastructure, all that kind of stuff, and ask that of our politicians?
Why aren't we doing it? I've asked politicians that on the podcast directly. I said, why don't you have bipartisan agreement on projects that you want to issue? But I think the problem is way more fundamental than that. Because New Zealand, I think we lack vision.
Lack vision.
Yeah.
So long-term thinking.
Yep. So in 20 years, can you tell me what Auckland would look like? What do we want Auckland to look like? Do we want to be a train-driven community? Or do you want to get from Auckland to Tauranga in less than an hour? What do we want? Or do we want better aircraft infrastructure? Or do we want a bit of everything? So we don't know what we want, so we just take a bit of everything. We need to keep the fucking pipeline full. So we'll do a little bit here, we'll do a little bit there. That road? Yeah, let's just do that. Oh, maybe that bridge. Oh shit, that bridge fucking failing. We better fix that now.
I think it's like anything, like even in business, like if you do one thing really well to start with, focus on that and keep moving forward, right?
Yeah.
Connected Auckland would be fantastic, that we can all catch a train, rely on the public transport to get us to work cheaply, take cars off the road, relieve that infrastructure. A connected Golden Triangle, as they call it, in the North Island, Tauranga, Hamilton, Auckland, via train, roads. I mean, it's all a vision. It's just how much is it going to cost us, and
100%.
Can we afford it?
But here's the problem, right? Every year you put that investment decision out, the more it's going to cost.
100%, yeah.
Like,
at the moment, we're burning assets, right? So that's not an investment strategy. That's just pushing the problem down the road.
I couldn't have said it better. Yeah. But anyways, that is the situation we're in, and I think that's a big cause of the boom and bust as well. Every election cycle that comes in, somebody pulls the handbrakes or opens the floodgates, and you go through a boom and bust cycle, and then we wonder why we have booms and busts here.
We all love a sugar rush, but wouldn't it be nice just to have something nice and even
and consistent with the pipeline of work that we keep talking about? So, Caleb, we spoke a little bit about the pipeline and where the industry's at. So hypothetically, if a minister of construction said, "Hey, Caleb, what are some of the things that we could implement from a governmental perspective to make life easier for New Zealand civil contractors?" What would that be? Give me three things.
Three things. A guaranteed funded pipeline.
Yep.
I think that gives us clarity and direction on where we're heading. Framework to train our people, get apprenticeships back in line. I think that's an important piece that grows and lifts people. I don't think that's done very well at the moment.
Okay.
So there's a lot of improvement there. What else? Three. So pipeline, people. Really look at a longer term vision. So this lowest cost stuff isn't working. I think sustainability, ESG values really can help the government turn the dial for what you and I, every Kiwi in New Zealand sort of wants, right?
Yep.
We actually want great places to live. We want infrastructure that works. We want it to be cheap and improve our life. So
not cheap, value.
Well, yeah, value delivered, right?
Yeah.
So we want that long-term vision delivered. Yeah. So give us the vision. Let us help shape the vision. Put the funding into it. Guarantee it. We'll get out there and deliver it for you.
Too easy.
Yeah.
Just like that. That way you don't have to deal with the booms and busts. You can still focus on your ESG.
Well, we keep talent in the country. We grow talent. As a nation, we grow. We get better infrastructure.
Here's the thing: we don't retain talent, though. We do nothing to retain talent in this country.
No, we don't.
we train them and kick them over the ditch.
Yeah,
you just go. Might as well just buy them the flight ticket, let them go.
Yeah, we've got a young workforce that's keen to get into stuff.
Yeah,
then an older workforce that's here for the lifestyle, and once you've learned it, but it's very attractive overseas at the moment.
Yeah. What do you think we can do to keep the talent in New Zealand? What are you doing in Kenai to keep your talent intact with that losing them overseas?
What are we doing? We're really, I suppose, focusing on people and the plans on vision of where they want to go. So we're really looking at people's attitude for a start of how we bring them on. You can't train attitude, we found. So having the right skills and everything is great, but we train those skills, and I think giving those people the opportunity to train into them with the right attitude, that's the way we go, and they're brought into that longer term vision, and they can see this is a cool place to be. We want to be here. We want to contribute.
Yeah, right.
We want to be a Kiwi. We want to help build better communities around us.
But if the same person's getting another $30,000, $40,000 a year overseas, they're possibly paying less tax? Maybe not, but not in Australia right now. But, you know,
yeah, it's a valid question, right? Yeah, so that's where it comes back to. We need clarity on where we're going as a country. Are we building or are we not?
yeah. Everything loops back to that.
Yeah.
Mate, this election cycle is going to be quite interesting. I'll stay out of politics. I'm not going to talk about politics.
Good.
I said I'm not.
Throwing me under the bus.
Am I?
No, not at all.
You're like, I don't give a shit. That's sweet. Just looping it back to Kenai, right? So Kenai is 5 years old, and if you had to you had the opportunity to restart a new business, a new Kenai today, what would you do differently?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. What would I do differently? I'd perhaps take a slower approach to some of the growth and some of the capital allocation, given we sort of started in a bit of a high and those market up and downs. Really focus on a bit more local delivery. So I tried to go big and everywhere into every region as quick as I could. So stay a bit more local, really build out of a region, I think.
Like Auckland? And
like
you build out
Auckland, yeah. Get a solid foothold and learn from that. Make the mistakes early in one place where it's a little bit easier to manage and contain and then learn those lessons. Maybe I'd start in the regions. There's a lot of opportunity in the regions, I think, too, to provide a lot of skill set that Auckland's trained up in, or Auckland, Wellington, wherever you're from, is trained up in those regions, sort of want that skill set too, you know. So, it'd probably be a bit more local and focus on...
Rather than expanding real quickly too soon?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, getting the right people on the boat is a big one.
Yeah.
So I always say we started the business and we're building the ship and sailing it at the same time. We've had some really talented people on board and had some pretty big learnings out of those people. So they haven't always been the right fit.
Culturally?
Culturally or attitude. I suppose a morale thing, and that filters through. So that long-term vision of having everyone going in the same directions is really important, and hiring that attitude, I suppose, going back to people, train the skill.
You can always train anybody. It's if you don't get the right attitude, you're fucked.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Even when we're hiring, I keep saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the people just turn around and go, oh, you know, they lack this skill and they lack that skill. I'm like, that's okay. You can fucking teach them the skill.
100%.
You cannot fucking teach them attitude. So let's find the person with the right attitude.
Yeah.
We'll teach them any skill.
100%.
Yeah, you can learn almost anything with the right attitude, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's really cool, mate. Really cool.
I suppose one of the other things for me would be, what would I say there? We're 5 years in. Starting was the easy bit, I think. So with the market up and downs, like starting when the pressure's on, it's exciting.
You're in an absolute boom.
Yeah, absolute boom. Like you can't do too much wrong.
Yeah.
It's once it starts to slow down, that's where the lessons are. Make the decisions earlier, learn from them earlier, make decisions quicker. And then I think the other pressure there is staying consistent in who you are and what you want. So that longer term vision needs to shine through to carry you through it. If you're just following the latest trend or up and down market, I think the wheels fall pretty quick.
Yeah, mate. Off. Yeah. So you've got to stay true to the vision is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. You learn your identity pretty quickly, right? Is this for you or is it not?
Yeah. Very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Especially in a market like this, you would.
Yeah.
So say tomorrow I want to start a civil company. Yeah.
Yeah. Hope you've got broad shoulders.
Oh, I carry
Gym
anything.
guy.
Gym bods, right?
Yeah.
Like, I
Love
CrossFit train, right? So
Yeah.
broad fucking shoulders, yeah.
Love it.
Is that what I need?
Yeah, I think, you need to know yourself. You need to, be prepared to put in some hard yards, but have that longer term thinking is probably the biggest one.
Okay. Broad shoulders. Let's start there, right? Yeah. So, anyways, mate. So this has been really, really cool, really insightful. It's been fun having a conversation with you, understanding your little founder's journey, and understanding the ethos of your company has been quite interesting, and how you're adding value to beautiful New Zealand.
Yeah, for sure.
Mate, carry on doing the amazing work you're doing, mate. It's and hopefully we'll get to work with you in the near future.
Definitely.
I'm loving the vision.
It's all about the journey, right?
That's
Learning
it.
and improving. So
That's it. Yeah.
we can eventually.
Yep. Look forward to it, mate. Good chat.
Good chat. Thanks.